Wake up, Chicago! We are witnessing a seismic shift at Hallis Hall right now. This isn't just a standard off-season tweak. This is a full-blown demolition project designed to rewrite the future of our Bears. From the locker room to the governor's mansion, bridges are burning and tough decisions are being made that will leave this roster unrecognizable. The front office is wielding the axe with zero mercy, clearing the books and setting a dangerous precedent. If you thought the season was the hard part, buckle up, because the real storm is just making landfall.
Let's get straight to the uncomfortable truth right now. Sources inside the league confirm the Chicago Bears are preparing to part ways with a key starter in a shocking salary cap maneuver. This isn't a depth piece. This is a legitimate contributor, a guy who has sweated and bled for this franchise, being shown the door purely for financial flexibility. From an insider perspective, the math makes sense. The Bears need liquidity to attack free agency and restructure the foundation for Caleb Williams and this offense. But let me tell you something right now. This is absolutely ruthless. You look at the locker room culture. You look at the message this sends to the rest of the squad. It screams that nobody is safe. Ryan Poles is not playing games. He is looking at the spreadsheet, seeing a number he doesn't like, and hitting delete without a second thought. It is the cold, hard reality of the NFL, where loyalty stops the moment the check clears. We are talking about saving millions against the cap, sure, but at what cost to the chemistry? When you cut a starter, you create a hole. Now you have to fill that hole, likely with a younger, unproven commodity or a cheaper veteran who might not have the same motor. This is a gamble. It is a high-stakes poker move where the front office is betting they can find equal production for pennies on the dollar. But wait, because if you think this is just about one player, you are living in a fantasy land. This is just the first domino in a chain reaction that is going to gut the defensive side of the ball. You need to understand the magnitude of what is happening next, because the axe didn't stop swinging here. In fact, it just took aim at a veteran leader who defined grit for this defense, and that move changes the entire complexion of the unit. The strategy is clear. Strip it down to build it up, but the immediate pain is going to be severe for everyone involved in this organization.
Before we break down the next massive cut, listen to me. If you want the raw truth about the Bears that the mainstream media is too scared to tell you, hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update.
The ink wasn't even dry on the first report before the next bomb dropped. The Chicago Bears have officially released a veteran linebacker, marking the definitive start of their salary cap purge. This move is specifically calculated to clear space not just for now, but to set up the books for the 2026 season. Think about that. We are talking about long-term vision here. Ryan Poles is looking 2 years down the road, identifying dead weight and cutting it loose. But let's be real for a second. This is a linebacker who brought experience, who brought thunder to the gaps. You don't just replace that kind of institutional knowledge overnight. The insider details suggest this was a rip-off-the-Band-Aid moment. The coaching staff knows the linebacking core needs to get faster and younger. They looked at the tape, they looked at the cap hit, and they decided the value simply wasn't there anymore. Is it disrespectful? Maybe. Is it business? Absolutely. But it leaves a massive void in the middle of that defense. Who is going to call the plays? Who is going to check the front when the audibles start coming? By cutting a veteran presence, you are putting immense pressure on the young guys to grow up instantly. There is no safety net anymore. The Bears are effectively telling their youth movement, sink or swim. And this aggression suggests they are not done trimming the fat. They are looking at every single contract, every single draft pick from previous regimes, and evaluating them with a microscope. The scrutiny is at an all-time high. This isn't just about money, it is about philosophy. They want their guys, not the ghosts of the past. But here's the kicker, the part that should make every fan nervous. It seems the front office has lost faith in their own developmental process regarding certain draft classes. If you think cutting veterans is tough, wait until you hear how they are treating their own recent draft capital. The purge is systematically destroying the recent history of this team.
This is where the situation turns from financial strategy to a flat-out indictment of the roster-building process. Sources indicate the Bears are expected to move on from yet another former third-round pick, refusing to offer a second contract. This signals a complete lack of faith in the development of players who were supposed to be the core of this team. When you draft a guy in the third round, you expect him to be a starter, or at the very least, a high-level rotational piece for a decade. To cut bait this early, it is a disaster. It screams incompetence in the evaluation room. We are seeing a trend here that is absolutely alarming. The Bears are churning through roster spots like they are auditioning extras for a movie, not building a championship football team. Insider reports suggest the coaching staff felt this player had hit his ceiling and simply wasn't fitting the new scheme's demands. But how many times can we say he didn't fit the scheme before we start asking who is picking these players? You cannot sustain a franchise by whiffing on day 2 draft picks. Those are your bread and butter players. By letting this talent walk out the door, the Bears are admitting failure. They are admitting they got it wrong. And now they have to spend more money in free agency to plug a hole they should have filled in the draft years ago. It is a vicious cycle of mediocrity. The frustration inside Halas Hall is palpable because they know they cannot keep missing on these picks. But while the roster is being gutted from the inside out, a much larger, much more dangerous war is brewing outside the stadium walls. This isn't just about players anymore. The very existence of the Bears in Chicago is under fire. You need to hear what the franchise just said because it has sparked a political firestorm that threatens the entire future of the organization in Illinois. The battle lines are drawn and the stakes have never been higher.
We have arrived at the nuclear option. In a stunning development, the Chicago Bears released an official statement regarding their future stadium plans, and it has triggered an all-out war with the governor of Illinois. The franchise is demanding clarity, demanding public support, and essentially holding the city hostage with the threat of relocation. The governor fired back, criticizing the team's approach and creating a climate of severe political tension. This is not just football. This is power, politics, and billions of dollars on the line. The Bears are playing a dangerous game of chicken with the state government. They are saying, help us build our palace, or we will find somewhere else that will. And the governor is standing tall, refusing to blink, refusing to hand over taxpayer money without guarantees. It is a mess. Insider sources tell me the relationship between the team ownership and state officials is at an all-time low. There is zero trust. The Bears want a state-of-the-art dome to host Super Bowls and Final Fours, but the state is looking at the economy and asking why they should foot the bill for billionaires. The audacity of the Bears to pick this fight right now while they are slashing the roster and cutting fan favorites is mind-boggling. They are asking for loyalty from the city while showing zero loyalty to their players. It is a public relations nightmare. The fans are caught in the middle, watching their team get dismantled on the field while the ownership threatens to pack up and leave if they don't get their way. This distraction is the last thing this locker room needs. Instead of focusing on winning the NFC North, we are talking about tax brackets and zoning laws. This standoff is going to get uglier before it gets better. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife, and the silence from Halas Hall regarding a backup plan is deafening. This is a battle for the very soul of the Chicago Bears franchise.
This is a defining moment in Bears history. We are watching a simultaneous dismantling of the roster and a high-stakes political battle for the soul of the franchise. The front office is stripping the team down to the studs, betting everything on their ability to rebuild from scratch, all while fighting a war with the governor that could determine where this team plays in the next decade. It is bold, it is risky, and frankly, it is terrifying for anyone who loves this team. Are they geniuses clearing the deck for a championship run, or are they burning the house down with us inside it? I need to know where you stand. Drop a comment right now. Are you trusting the process, or is it time to panic? We are in this together, Chicago. Bear down.